Everybody. Okay, so we do a pastel, and I'm going to use these pastels. These are Rembrandt pastels. They come in different sets. A set of 90. I got some down there, like over 100. 200. They come in a lot. This one, the portrait selection, they come with landscape selection, different ones. Okay, when you use it, when you're done with the color, you just leave it up like that. So you know which colors you use. You can go back to them quickly. Okay. And this will be done, I don't know, a few different videos because it takes a while to do a pastel. And there we go. This is that sketchbook we started the other day. And we did, this drawing, which was really just a trial. It was really fun. That one. This Prismacolor charcoal with pan pastel. So this one is like, so far the sketchbook's pretty cool. What we're going to use is we're going to do an old man. And you guys see this? And what I did is I went through and just picked out just a ton. I met this guy in Hawaii, and it's going to sound really creepy, but he was in the bathroom. We were both washing our hands. There was like only one sink, so you had to kind of like take, like just stand next to the guy, wash my hands, but there's only one sink. And I said, man, that's a crazy beard. He goes, yeah, it's a lot of work, and I really like it. I said, I'm a painter and an artist. And anybody with a beard like that should be painted. So, you mind if I take a picture of you? And he said, no, not at all. And so we walked outside the restaurant and I took his picture. It was really cool. So we have that one to go from. And then this guy was just on the street. And then here's an eye that I kind of liked. This is a really good drawing. I don't know who did it. Took it off of Instagram. That's one of my pastels of one of my TAs. And amazing, amazing person. So people recognize her. She was just amazing. And kind of like an administrative assistant, but also a friend. And the college students have moved on. Um, but I did the painting of her, and I really liked the way the sun moved through. So if anybody gets a chance to interview her, just hire her because she will make you successful. And she's a dedicated person. She was a friend, but again, the college students, they all moved on, all of them. So it was just fun. This is one I did for New Masters. Yeah, it was really good. This is Johnny Depp. I might take some shadows from there. And real good. From the Getty. And there we go. Bunch of different faces. So I'm going to make up the face. It's going to be a non-person from a non-period of time. So let's see what happens. Yeah, it was a weird subject to bring up because, who is the person? Trying to, I think one of the toughest things about teaching is, to say goodbye and let them move on, to not hold on. And, but that doesn't mean that I don't have dear friends from teaching. So just, let them work with. If you ever need anything, they can always call. Okay. Not as extreme as this one, but that person is really rare. I mean, she was just the smartest, most incredible PA. She was an administrative assistant. She could think. I mean, she was just knew how to organize things. Really smart. Cynthia. So if anybody gets a chance to hire, just outright hire. The ultimate of all recommendations. And I hope she's doing well. Here we go. Here we go. Do we want to go bigger? I don't know. I have a beard. This was from a pastel show with the Getty. Look at that face. Incredible artist. Here we go. That's kind of cool. So you're kind of chiseling. There you got these planes. Here we go. Yeah, so as a college professor, it's funny. I'd always get like real jealous of the other teachers when they had my students they moved on to, and it's like, that's my student, or they would take credit for something like, no, no, I did that. I taught them that. And, it got uncomfortable because, there's students at the university and you get thousands of them. In the case of that student, she's, again, just like an administrative assistant, but a friend, she's somebody that, she's great. So, again, I give my highest of all recommendations. So, just to hire Cynthia, just hire her. Just don't even sweat it. Don't even ask. Just hire. She will literally make you successful. Friend of mine is like three VPs. He's really high up, and he was he had to go make some airline tickets, and he never had like a real assistant, administrative assistant. And we would go through the assistant. She goes, "Oh, I already made the tickets for you," and that was this person, Cynthia. She was just like, I'd be on the phone in class. She knew my clients because I had her help me with my emails. I'd write her. So I'd be on the phone and she'd be listening. I say, I'm at class, with your clients, let me call you back on Wednesday. She'd call me on Wednesday. Say, did you call the client? I mean, it's just like, had a sticky brain and she's a sweet person. So yeah, you're not going to hire for art, hire for administrative assistant. You'll be successful. Here we go. So I have this shadow. Let's see, the light's going to go this way. I like this guy's eyes. And then, there's the students that, they become like part of the family, really close friends. With Corey. I'm just putting in reflected light. That wasn't the plan to talk about students, but you know, the paint, it's a pastel I did that I really like. And, I really like the way the colors were. Kind of key in this. I might go faster. I'm making up a face. It's not gonna be it's an anybody. I'm using pieces from all over. And well, figure this guy probably a red nose. The one here. This guy. Look at this guy. He's got a real dark nose. So continue a little bit about college. Because I had to fly in to teach college, I never got to go to the graduations. So, it's like once they left my class, they come back and say hi, or if they're TA like this one. And yeah, it, you're not going to graduation. You never get to see the finished part. I was always jealous of those professors. I was jealous because, you really care about the students. You don't get to see it. What are you going to do? You're going to fly up there? It's going to cost you by the time you fly up and get a hotel and serious cash. You're looking over $1,000. So it just became like, okay, not something I get to do. So maybe you catch a picture or two online afterwards. Oh wow, that's so cute. That's so beautiful. And, she had natural beauty anyways. And that's it. You know, I had to key the palette. Here it's like a box shape. It's got a side plane, underplane. Okay, that's a land. Okay, so we'll stop here and then we'll keep going because yeah, really long videos. So I have the rhythm chart. I got some planes, got a basic color scheme, and it's starting to show a narrative. That's it. That's a start. From here, it can go to a sketch, or it can go to like a finished museum type piece by the amount of breaking down the planes and subplanes and facets. Okay, so let's stop it here, and then we'll pick it up and keep going in a while. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what we got here. The nose. It's such a beautiful eye. I don't even know who painted it. Really good. You're just taking pieces from not doing a portrait, painting a face. I want to work the core shadow down the side of the face. This is a good reference for that. So here, looking for the turning planes. This rhythm chart and come in here. Okay. Still keying it. Still trying to get that basic overall feel. What I do is I tap straight down and straight up, and it won't be able to be perfect. But what happens is it takes it out of focus. Happens on all the edge. This is my way. Okay, so now we've got some darks. Yes, it's working. So gray with the hair. We're gonna add some warmth in there also. Do that. Let's get the other hair. I do the other pictures. I like this one. All right, funny stories from studio. So let's see. We moved from Sherman Way, big buildings for He-Man in Victory, multi-story building. And I don't know who was in there before, but whoever it was wasn't very popular because they kept doing bomb scares. Yeah. So at first everybody got, evacuated, but then they decided, well, just evacuate like the first and the fifth or something. And we were stuck there. We were like thinking, the thing goes off, we're gonna be on top of everybody. It's like I guess we weren't important. So every time it was like the movie Backdraft, while the fire engines are like coming from all over to this building. And so the girls, they would take their phone numbers and put it on animation paper and put it in the windows because the firemen were really cute. So they're hitting on the firemen from like the fifth floor. You can't script this stuff. You can't script it. Um, I think what I'll do is I'll take the stuff that Steve Hickner did of me, the cartoons. We worked together and he did the craziest cartoons. So funny of me in just my daily life. Hilarious. I'll find those. I have them on the shelf. So we'll do those. Okay, so that was fun. It was always you never knew what to expect when you came into your office in the morning with Steve Victor because he was just absolutely the funniest person on the planet. And we shared the same room. We were not normal, and we had so much fun. Let's see. One time, practical jokes. One of the animators stopped at a butcher on the way, and he bought a pig's head. So, and he put it behind the glass of somebody's desk. So when they came in the morning, they had the drawings on the desk. When they flipped it open, there was a pig's head staring at them. That's funny. That's funny. Mm. This person got in big trouble for it, but they put Playboy centerfolds all over the guy back then. That was so funny. So let's see. You're allowed to have nudity at your desk as long as it was like figure drawing, what you use for money. But I guess not Playboy centerfolds. They got busted. Okay, now I'm starting to hit some lights. One of the animators, I'm not going to use names, but this guy's funny as hell. And they would always put the layouts up on the wall for everybody to see. But he thought he should have his own, so he put his McDonald's wrappers on the other side. So you go through these beautiful layouts and beautiful drawings, and then on the other side there was a Big Mac wrapper, and it was kind of cute. It was funny. I learned how to screw around from my animation teacher when I was a kid, because they were the first ones. They were originals. Back in the olden days, if you worked in animation, you're, man, look at that face. It's okay. Let's flip it. This is cool. And that's the Riley chart right there. From this to this rhythm to that rhythm. Very Riley. We just pretend this is the light. Just go and just hit the part. And by the way, it's taken the pastel pretty well. We're going to stop this one here because I have to go to the softer pastels. So pastels, you go from hard to soft on the thickness of the. Not talking about the other videos; those are silly, the silly ones. Um, you kind of layer it, so it's getting to the part where it's kind of moving the pastel around. So I'm going to go under my desk and grab the pastels, and I'll show it to you. Okay, we'll move on to the third video. Okay, now put the end on this thing. I had to go back in and kind of reestablish the drawing, which is really common. So keep it in your mind that it's nothing's ever like going to be perfect the whole time as you're moving through the drawing. You have to go back and it's called, reestablish. Okay. Went back and found some reference. I really like this painting. Did it. This one's really cool. That one for a figure drawing. I like this one, so grab that. It's more painterly. This one's good too. So let's put the finish on it. So these are softer pastels, and you kind of cake it up. Light's coming this way, so I'm hitting the planes. Want to cool the side and the forms. Yes, it's turning. Again, this guy doesn't exist in the real world. I'm making him up. I'm using a lot of different reference. These are called schmeekis, these pastels. And they're super, super soft. You're basically, when you buy one of these pastels, you're buying like a tube of paint. So one of these could cost you, you know, $7, $8 for a pastel. I pay for it. really hot on the nose. So this is working on this piece of paper. The paper's been great. It's just the pastels are writing. Really like the color on this. Or should we make his shirt? Okay, I think that's it. So this painting, this dark pastel went from um, okay, absolute hideous crap to laying in bed thinking, well, let's just dump it. Gotta learn how to throw stuff away. And then this morning, just kind of get back into it a little bit. And then on a phone call, usually is when I can pull the painting out, make it better. Well, I'm not on the phone very much. When I am, it's an old friend. It might be a little longer conversation. I was able to fix it. And I was talking to Corey, and I said, I'm going to dump this. And I went, oh, no, no. I think it's there. But this is a sketch, not a masterpiece. I'm not going to go, hey, it's a sketchbook. Okay? Just a sketchbook. Spread, just a sketchbook. But push it. This is where you get to push. You got to really kind of go to the next level. Okay. You might not have to be able to do that with a commercial job because you have deadlines and stuff. So when you're doing a commercial job, you're pretty much just kind of staying in your comfort zone. Not the time to kind of pull out of the comfort zone. But in your sketchbook, that's when you have your opportunity. That's when you go crazy, have fun. So that's good enough. Okay. So this will be, I think, one long video. And the unexpected part of this video would be this, because I'm looking at reference. This is a made up person. that I just did when I was at New Masters, or it was just a demo somewhere. This is a real person. We were doing boot camp at the school, and she was there. And so I really like that. And then we went to Catalina, and on Catalina, she wore this hat, and the light shined through the hat. And I went, oh man, that's a painting. So I did the demo for the students of her hat. Basically, if this person who looks like this, just say, were you Sheldon's TA and is your name Cynthia? Um, if she walks into your company or studio, um, hire her. That's uh, she will make your company successful. And there are some people who are just so smart, so on it, and that would be her base. And she goes beyond it. She's just so smart, so talented. So she's very talented in the art. She'll get the job done. She'll do fine, in anything in the animation industry. But where she has this spooky talent is her ability to just organize and get things done. So you get it too. I mean, she can be an artist or producer, whatever you want to do. Okay. I'm going to now.